If you aren't familiar with electric vehicles, you might think that you have to drive to a specific charging station to charge up your battery, but that is simply not the case. Unlike a gas car where you have to drive to a gas station every week or couple weeks to fill up your tank, you can charge an electric car from the convenience of your home. I've been wanting to do a video on home charging, but unfortunately I live in an apartment right now and typically do my charging at work, so I don't really have a good charging setup where I actually live. So I'm going to kick it over to my friend Darrell, and he's going to walk through his home charging setup.
Thanks, Alex. Glad to be on your channel today. As Alex stated, I do have a home charger at my home, so the first thing you want to do is find an electrician and tell them you want a NEMA 1450 installed in your house. Kidding. But the first thing we want to do is we want to understand what the car actually needs from the house. So for this video, I'm going to go over what a NEMA 1450 is, why I have it installed in my house, and the process. So I know the first thing some of you are going to say are, why don't I have a high-powered wall charger at my house? I do have another video specifically on that topic, wall charger versus the NEMA 1450. So if you want to stop by my channel, you can check out that video and it explains why I have a NEMA 1450. So if you wanted to, you could literally buy the car and not do any type of home electrical install. You could plug it straight into your 110 outlet. But the problem with that is you're only going to get about 5 miles an hour max in terms of charging your car. Your standard 110 volt outlet is called level 1 charging. And obviously, as I just said, it's really slow. So what you want to be looking for if you're going to have home charging is level 2 charging. Level 2 charging is the most efficient way to charge your car at home, and this is where the NEMA 1450 comes in. The NEMA 1450 is a type of receptacle, and in layman's terms, that basically just means it's a big plug. And so basically your 110 outlet is actually a NEMA 515. If you have an electric dryer at your house, you technically actually already have level 2 charging. It's just a different type of plug, which is the NEMA 1430 most of the time. So it is comparable to the NEMA 1450, but I wouldn't recommend trying to switch your electric dryer and your car back and forth on the same plug, because there are safety reasons involved, especially with the extension cord that you'd probably have to use to get the, your energy from the actual plug probably inside your house to the car. So if we go back to the NEMA 1450, NEMA actually stands for National Electrical Manufacturers Association, which is just electrical standards in North America. The 14 is just the format of the plug, and the 50 is the max amperage that the circuit breaker can hold. So in this case, NEMA 1450 will be 50 amps. We know this is safe because the mobile connector can only handle 32 amps max, so that's fine right there. A general rule of thumb is that whatever the max amperage is, you want to stay 10 amps less than that for it to be safe. So that would be 40 amps max output on the particular device that you're using. Now, using your mobile connector, you can get up to 30 miles an hour on the Model 3, which is plenty of juice for the car if you're charging overnight. And it doesn't even matter what variant Model 3 you have. 30 miles an hour overnight is plenty enough to get the full battery charged if you wanted to. So the reason why I have the NEMA 1450 is because it's cheaper to install than the wall charger, and it'll get you to the same place overnight. Just it's going to take a little more time. But when we're talking about overnight, it's not even relevant anyways. So that's why I have the NEMA 1450. So the process for me personally was pretty simple. It was basically call an electrician and tell them I wanted NEMA 1450. If you go this route, the installation costs will vary, but one big factor is how far you want your plug away from your circuit breaker. And that's because the wiring is a bit pricey. So obviously the farther away from the circuit breaker, that's more wiring, which means it's going to cost more. So lucky for me, in my case, the plug was literally going to be like a foot away from the circuit breaker. So the install didn't really cost me that much. It cost me $500 total, which I definitely know is on the cheaper side of installs for plugs. Now, if you want to do the install yourself, you definitely can. I don't believe NEMA 1450 buying the actual parts is really that expensive. For me, I did not want to do that in the name of safety. As you know, electricity is a powerful force, and if you mess up, you could be dead. So I was definitely willing to pay a professional to do this in the name of safety. After that, that's pretty much it. You now have level 2 charging, which is the fastest charge you can get at home, and you never have to go to a gas station ever again. So now that you have level 2 charging, definitely contact your utility company, as they might have an EV rate or a time of use rate, and those are going to be like the cheapest way to get energy for your car. Usually that's overnight because that's when the grid is less busy. And make sure you ask your utility company about rebates as well. PG&E gave me $800 just for proving that I have an EV. So I hope that video was helpful, and I'm going to send it back to Alex now.
Thanks so much, Darrell, for going through all that with us. I definitely agree the NEMA 1450 is the way to go. It's definitely the cheaper route compared to installing a full-blown Tesla high-powered wall charger, and you're going to get similar charging results, especially if you're charging overnight. Those differences in charging speeds really aren't going to matter. All the video that Darrell mentioned in his segment linked down below, as well as a link to his channel. I definitely recommend you go and check him out. He's got a lot of awesome Model 3 tutorials that can definitely help you out if you're new to the vehicle or new to Tesla. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.